We are going to get at it today. So what we are talking about, excuse me, is, let me find the exact title here because now on my program I can't see it as well. How to price your programs so people will buy them, okay? How to price your programs. It's a really big question that people ask often. And so we're going to go ahead and cover it here today in a very short video, okay? So first things first, you guys can win stuff. So if you did not know about that, all you have to do is subscribe to my YouTube channel, comment on my YouTube videos, share my YouTube videos into social media, tagging myself or my business page in it. One person every single week is going to win something. So that's how that goes. You have to do nothing else. That's all you do, y'all. That's all you do. I see you guys coming into the live chat. Feel free to go ahead and leave your comments there. Leave your hey girl heys, whatever you want to put, comments, questions, whatever. Whenever I'm done talking, I'm going to swing back through and I'm going to put some of you up on screen where you belong. And we'll get at it. That shirt is boss. Awake, not woke. This shirt came from a friend of mine, Anthony Russo, has an apparel company. You can find it online at #BeTheChange.com. And hashtag is spelled out. So #BeTheChange.com, and you'll be able to see some different things. I think it's important that we wear our message on our chest. And especially whenever we show up publicly and things like that. And I'm just going to kind of take a rabbit trail here. Hi. The media would love for people to believe that those of us that think like this are toothless cretins that are savages. The truth is, there's a lot of us like this. There's a lot of us that think like this, right? And we're not toothless savages. Nothing wrong with being toothless. Nothing wrong with being a cretin, quite frankly. But I'm just saying that whenever an entire group of people is shown to be like making an entire group of people look less than is interesting. And you really wonder why. Because when you've got literally millions of people that think like this, when you've got millions of people that truly love their neighbor like nobody else, we want what's best. We want freedom and we want justice, right? That's what we want. There's nothing wrong with that. What is wrong with that? And so there's a lot of people that are just like me that are kind of afraid to come out and wear this kind of stuff on their chest or in a hat or whatever, and they're afraid to come out and talk about their truth because the media has made those people toothless cretins. So if you come out wearing something like this, everybody's going to look at you like, oh my gosh, it's one of them. The only way we break that narrative, which is a false narrative, and all you have to wonder about that narrative is why? Why do they do that? My gosh, there's got to be some reason. I'll leave that to you. I'll leave that to you and your brain and your own wandering mind. Go ahead, let it wander, please. But the only way to be able to change that, which is a manufactured, bought and paid for narrative, the only way to change that is for us to literally show up in life, walking through Target, being kind, being helpful, smiling at people, letting them know that you love them, right? Letting them know that you're not a bad person or some sort of savage, and carrying this message on your chest and saying, I'm one of these people. Do you think I'm a savage? No. That's the only reason, that's the only way, you guys, like real talk, it's the only way you destroy this narrative. It's the only way. It has to come from us, and it has to come from us literally creating cognitive dissonance by being exactly who we are, but by showing people exactly who we are. Okay? I'm going to move on to the topic at hand. There is that. So good morning. Happy Thursday. Okay. Anywho. So what am I talking about? It's the sweet spot of pricing. Okay, so how do you price your stuff so that people are actually going to buy it? Let me check my time since I already took off on you. So it felt good though. It felt good. So the sweet spot of pricing, I just did this recently in a workshop that I did, and I just, I'm reminded that, gosh, people really need to hear this because it's something that sometimes it's a paralysis point. So there are different paralysis points that people hit when they're creating things in their income streams, okay? Whether it's coaching, consulting, whether it's a course, whatever it is, they hit different paralysis points. And one of the big ones is, but what do I charge for it, right? And so I have just a really quick thing, super easy. It's a slider, okay? So it's a sliding scale, and it will always slide up, and it better not slide back down, okay? Just so you know. You'll understand that here in a second. So the sliding scale is there's a top part of that scale, and there's a bottom part of that scale. And in the bottom part, or the in between those two things, is the sweet spot. And it's up to you. So whenever you're asking people, well, what should I charge for X, Y, and Z? It really isn't up to anybody else. And they really shouldn't tell you what you should charge for your stuff, because it has the likelihood, if somebody else is giving you a price, it has a strong likelihood of tripping you up. You trip over your shoelaces and you cannot move on, and you cannot sell the thing because of all of your thoughts about that price. Okay, are you guys with me? Top of the scale, you guys. Well, let's do bottom of the scale first. Bottom of the scale, the low end of the price, feels like people are ripping you off. Okay, and that may sound a little like harsh. It's not. It's my best way to describe the feeling, right? So if you've ever sold something, maybe you sold maybe you sold something for, just say, I'm just ambiguous here, maybe $37 you sold something for. And then you had along with it all sorts of additional help and support and da-da-da-da-da. And you sold all of that for $37. And people were buying it for $37 because they're like, oh, that's a great deal. Well, whenever they buy it for $37 and then they require your support, they require your time, they're frustrating you and all of that happens when you haven't charged enough. When you feel like people are ripping you off, and it's not their fault. Remember this, okay? It's not their fault. You priced it. You put that price tag on it. And so they bought it for that, and then you also offered this additional help, and so then they took the additional help. This is all on you. You can't be mad at them, but what happens is you get frustrated with helping them because you haven't charged enough for your product. Okay, we never ever in life, you guys, want to feel frustrated when helping our people. Okay, and that's how you avoid that, is you price it accordingly. So the very bottom of it, you guys, is that you feel like they are ripping you off. The very top of the slider is you feel like you are ripping them off. All right, you feel like, oh my gosh, I can't believe they just bought this, or I don't feel like I deserve this. I don't feel like this is really worth that. I see this person over here charging that much, so I'm going to charge this much, but man, I don't really feel like it's worth that. That's the feeling in your heart, okay? Now you're going to have a bunch of dudes on the front of Ferraris, rented Ferraris, that say to you, well, charge as much as you can charge. Okay. For those of us that care about people, for those of us that care about people having access to things and people being able to get these transformations in their life so they can be better because of it and aren't just at a race to the top for how much we can possibly charge for it, it's not a good way to be, guys. So in you know your sliding scale. Nobody else knows it like you do, because it's a resonating thing with you. So on the bottom end of it, you feel like they're ripping you off. Top end, you feel like you're ripping them off. In between here is the sweet spot. And like I said, that's going to go up. And the reason it'll go up, because you'll be building other programs. You'll be honing in on what you're really good at. You'll be getting better and better and better all along the way, because that's how it works, right? Especially if you're an HBR, we've got weekly group coaching. It's constant growth. It's not like you set your stuff up and then you don't need anything anymore. You will constantly be growing until the day you die. That's my prayer for you, is that you'll be constantly growing until the day you die, which is why we only do a one price for HBR. And then you're in for life with this constant growth. Like you've never seen that before, by the way. Nobody else does that in the industry. Do you know that a lot of people won't even coach the people that I coach because they're too scared they can't? Because it's too hard? Because going from 10K a month to 100K a month, actually not that difficult. Going from 0 to 10K a month-ish, like it's an arbitrary number, but it's like ish. 0 to what you need per month to be able to quit your job sustainably. It's basically your setup. It's your foundation. It's everything. Scaling it is scaling it. That isn't difficult. When you have a viable product, scaling it is not difficult. But the setting up of it is the hard part. That's the part that requires patience. It requires somebody who actually gives a rip about you, right? That's what HBR is. That's why it works for people, because it's necessary. You can go to somebody else that's going to say, do this and do that, and blah. But you're not going to have what you need for growth. And then whenever you're in, we help you scale too. Let me just do this because I just talked about HBR. Here's how you jump in. You just go to Livin the Dream with Martha. It's my Facebook business page. Message us the words, let's do this, rainbows and unicorns, whatever you want. And we will get you in. The price is going up here pretty soon to reflect everything we've added to it. There's so much support and additional processes added to it right now. But understand, HBR is how I've built, it's the framework of how I've built multiple income streams around myself and my family from home in 5 to 10 hours a week once it's all said and done. Okay? So that's what you have to look forward to. After you've completed HBR and you've got your things set up, you're going to work about 5 to 10 hours a week, and you're going to be able to have a sustainable income, and then you start scaling it. That's what it is, okay? From home. I'm going to get this out of here. So yeah, the way that you price things, let me check time again. The way that you price things, top of it, you feel like you're ripping people off. Bottom of it, you feel like they are ripping you off. Find that sweet spot, and that sweet spot will grow. So that number will continue to rise, okay? So don't think, well, I priced something at this price. Does that mean that I always have to? No, your sweet spot will grow because your value, your confidence, your swagger, your everything is going to grow. Your ability to help is going to grow. Like all of that happens, okay? So what questions do you guys have? Melissa, I'm saving up for HBR. Don't have a credit card to charge it. Looking forward to the program. Heck yeah. Melissa, have you messaged us? Because we actually have somebody that handles payments. You know, you can break it down into payments. We don't want you charging it on a credit card either, because that's crazy interest. But we do handle payments. I don't know if you know that or not. Message us. Message Livin the Dream with Martha if you haven't, or if you don't already know about that. Christine, good morning, Martha Krejci. I love your shirt. Yes. Watch the beginning of the video because I kind of did a whole thing about it. Brandy, I am in that foundational stage, but it's coming together beautifully. There it is. There it is. For those of you that, I mean, if you're looking at this and you're like, this feels too good to be true. I understand that. I understand that. I think what I offer does feel too good to be true because it's really, really good. And most other people aren't going to share with you what I share with you, because I lay out, like even in this workshop that we did last Monday, the Sales Accelerator workshop, and in the bonus thing yesterday, I lay it out. I'm as transparent as you guys know what I know, and I am a savant at this stuff. So I share this stuff with you. I don't hold anything back where I'm like, oh, but I'm not going to tell him this. Like I share everything with you guys. So you can be as successful as you choose to be because you are drinking from the fountain of of true knowledge, of actual success, not regurgitated knowledge, right? Like not, I heard this somewhere and it seems right, so I'm going to go ahead and teach it to you. It's not like that. I teach you what I've done. So, and has worked for me. Pricing is a challenge, Melanie says, when you're new to your own business or launching your own product. Your sliding scale is and sweet spot are so helpful. Oh, I love that, Melanie. Thank you, lady. Brandy, I want that shirt. Give me the link, please. This is helpful info, by the way. Heck yeah. The link, again, you guys, it's hashtag, and spelled out, hashtag BeTheChange.com, I believe. And Anthony Russo is my friend and the one that owns this, but hashtag BeTheChange.com. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. So, all right, you guys, I'm going to pop out of here. You guys have the best day ever. See ya. Bye-bye.